Every brand founder that I speak to or we've worked with has this moment of panic at some stage within their business. And the panic comes from having too much stock and inventory that they're sat on. So the initial reaction is to go into sale. But this video is going to run through today why discounting is not always the answer and can actually be really detrimental if you've got a high and premium luxury brand. So let's run through the discount trap. What is the discount trap? Well, this is where brands tell their customers or teach their customers that discounts are coming more regularly. So we see this often where brands have panicked throughout the season and they're doing discounts every other week or once a month. This educates the customer to hold off and not actually buy at full price. And if you're a premium luxury brand, that really actually damages the reputation of the brand and also can really hit your profit margins. The other thing is that if you're regularly discounting, people will wait and then you'll see a real slowdown after the sale has happened. So there'll be a big spike in performance and you get discounted sales, which really hits profit. But then the week after also is detrimental to the profit margins because there's hardly any sales and people are waiting for the next sale. So we always encourage our clients to think about full price initiatives rather than discounting because the data is there. We've worked with multiple different brands before, and the profit margins are much better when it's full price incentives rather than continuously discounting. And using discounting strategically throughout the year rather than using it as a sort of quick tool to get some quick sales in. And some of the reasons that we always promote full price initiatives instead of discounting as the first point of call to get sales in is because your profit margins are going to be intact still. So think about it this way. For example, you want to run a discount that is eating into your profit margin already. Then you want to advertise your promotion. So then you're using ad spend. And that ad spend with the lower profit margin that you're getting from a discounted product actually then leaves you with not very much profit. Whereas if you're strategic and you think about things about full price promotions and full price initiatives, then you're not eating into your profit margin to start with. And then you can advertise on that promotion without having to justify why. So then you can run that ad campaign on your full price and you've got more to play with to get customers through the door. So for luxury brands in particular, we usually suggest to use different initiatives that are full price products rather than using markdowns because you're a luxury brand, you want people to desire your products. And if you're showing them that they're discounting and that they can wait until the discount comes, then it sort of loses the appeal of people being able to get that. I've spoken previously in videos about the desire of luxury product and things that are on sale. Yes, they can be desirable because it's around price. But what you want to do as a luxury brand is to build that desire on exclusivity and not that everybody can get it at a discount. And one of the brands that we worked with recently had their biggest month ever. And that wasn't because they used influencers. It wasn't because they used discounting. It was because they were strategic in the way that they positioned their product launches. They had initiatives which were win-back series for customers coming back to get the new collection. And they used the full price desire of a new collection to drive that high sales. So they actually finished 124% up last month versus the previous year. And they've not run a discount since last September. So that's months of nurturing the customer and making them understand that actually buying it full price is the only option these days, but also that getting it new as soon as it launches is also the option before it might sell out. So some of the main reasons that we tell our clients to try and focus as much as possible on full price is because your profit margins are there. You're teaching your customers that buying full price is the only option and you're positioning yourself as a luxury brand. So if you don't want to do discounting, but you need to get some sales in, what do you do? One of the main things that we do with our clients is before products go on site, we're actually thinking about how they launch on site, getting customers excited for the product, doing teaser campaigns, making sure that there's desire around what's coming before the product is even on site. That way that you're driving initial sales as soon as the product is live, and you're less likely going to need to do a discount later down the line to drive those sales. So even before the product is live, we're already thinking about how we can promote it, how we can get our customers to make sure that they have it in their wish lists and are pre-ordering to make sure that we don't have to discount down the line. The other thing that our clients do is if they want to run an initiative, but it needs to be full price, then look at things like a free gift with a purchase. So we recently had a client that they had beautiful silk products and they offered a free headscarf with their orders. This was driving new business. People got a full look out of the orders, and it also really helped drive AOV higher because people wanted to get the free headscarf to go with multiple things. So overall, we were driving AOV up. The profit margin was really healthy still. We didn't cut into that with any discounting, and we drove more sales because it was an incentive for the customer. Another example of how you can use full price initiatives are bundling products together and then giving them a lower price point if they buy the full bundle. So for example, this could work with separates. If you've got two products that are sold separately, but if a customer buys them together, then they get a slightly better price point, then it's not discounting as such. It is giving them a better price once buying together. The AOV of the order is much higher, but the profit margins are also still very healthy without having to discount heavily. Another good option, especially for luxury brands and to drive repeat purchases, is to set up a loyalty scheme. So customers that shop regularly with you, they can get certain points off their next order. This really incentivizes them to come back if they potentially could go elsewhere. And then you're giving them an incentive and you're incentivizing your best customers to come back and shop with you, where they're likely to have lower returns because they've already shopped with you and they know their sizing. But also you're giving them an incentive to come back to you rather than a competitor without having to give away big discounts. And usually if the loyalty scheme has been set up correctly, you are actually giving away a small percentage of that profit, but not as much as it would be if you were discounting. The other thing with this is you're not messaging as a sale or a markdown, but you're messaging more as a valued customer. We'd love to give you this offer. So it's making the customer feel really valued, but without giving them a discount which lowers your brand positioning. So there's a few options there. You can do bundling of products together, you can do a free gift with their orders, or you can do a loyalty scheme. All of these do have a small profits margin that they will sort of eat into, but not as much as discounting. And also the brand positioning of this is totally different to going out there with a marketing message that is discounting and sale. So this video isn't about never doing a discount. We work in fashion. There is always going to have to be a discount with most of the brands that we work with. But when is the right time to do it? So I spoke previously about not doing it too regularly. What we usually advise our customers is there's two main times of year that you want to be looking at discounting. One is sort of May, June time, and that is the summer season. That's pre the new collections coming in. So that is one of the key moments that we suggest to do a big sale. The other one is later in the year with December sales, which is historically when they've been. But let's just talk about the two main sales. If you plan those into your calendar and you know that they're coming, then you won't react when things start to slow down. You can wait until that moment. You're teaching your customers to wait till that moment as well, and they will understand that there is a sale coming at certain times of the year. And what we've seen with clients that do this approach, they're not discounting throughout the year, so their customers are really ready to go full in when they do these rare discounts. Those actually become big sale days, and we are really geared up to get all of the profit and all of the sales in on those days. So we advise our clients to do 2 big sales a year. And then throughout the year, we might want to do certain globally specific sales. So for example, Memorial Day sale would just be open to the US. We might want to do Singles Day in Asia. So it depends on the geographics of the brand that we're working with, but there's different ways that we can do promotions, and also not blanket promotions. They're more specific promotions depending on where it's relevant. The other thing to think about when it comes to promotions and discounting is that not all products need to be discounted at the same amounts. So we see this regularly with clients where they come to us and they've historically panic put on a discount and it's a blanket 25% across the site. But that means that they're putting their best sellers into this discount as well as things that are slow sellers. But the strategic way of doing this is to really look at your sell-through of products, what your profit margins are of those products, and then have different discounts and promotions based on that. So the luxury brands that we know of and the clients that we work with that are doing the best are the ones that aren't reactively doing sales and markdowns. They're the ones that have thought about their marketing calendar for the next 12 months and have planned in strategic markdowns or specific promotions for certain countries. And then they're really thinking about their products even before they've gone online. So really honing in on product launches, creating desirability, about why the client should be buying the product at full price as soon as it goes online, rather than waiting and then doing reactive markdowns later down the line. If you're a fashion brand founder and you're looking for support with this strategic marketing and planning out your campaigns and also think about product launches, then get in touch. This is exactly what we do for our clients. We can help you plan and be strategic and not have discounting regularly and falling back on that. We'll help you plan out your product launches that are more successful than discount campaigns, and then your profit margins will look super healthy. If you found this video helpful, I'll be back next week with some platform updates or strategic thinking when it comes to building your fashion brand.